Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel videos, and today I have for you another Alistair, the Invoker deck. It's a pure build as far as there not being another archetype within the deck. You're just using Earth and Water monsters in order to go into your two strongest fusions, that being Magellanica and Invoked Cocytus. And we're also taking advantage of the skill Sorcery Conduit. If you lose 1000 life, instead of drawing a normal card for a turn, you can draw a random spellcaster type monster, which is the only Alistair in this deck. I ran into a lot of variations of this build when I was climbing the ladder, and also as of late playing in King of Games. And I decided to just kind of build it, make it my own. I mean, the core was using the Scrap Goblin, which I did see that from another player. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this face-up defense vision card is selected as an attack target, destroy this card at the end of the battle phase. If this card is destroyed by the effect of a scrap card and sent to the graveyard, you can select one scrap monster in your graveyard except itself, add it to your hand. So the second effect is not that relevant, but the fact that it's a tuner and it cannot be destroyed by battle, it's really good because you can set it, your opponent swings into it. If they don't have multiple monsters, they're not able to swing while it's face up, and it stays on the field. Then, assuming you used something like Cosmic Cyclone, or maybe if you already have Invoker in your hand, you normal summon it, draw your invocation, synchro into a Black Rose Dragon more than likely, so you can clear up the entire board. Now you can activate your invocation using the Scrap Goblin and the Alistair from the graveyard. Magellanica 1000 attack boost, easy game. We're also running triple Concentrating Current because I just love running this deck if I'm running a pure Alistair build, because it's super good with Cocytus. It's amazing with Magellanica. You get just stupid amounts of attack, and you're more than likely able to OTK over most monsters if they're in attack position. And for the water side of things, I went with Flip Flop Frog. I saw a lot of people using Gale Lizard or the Penguin. I've also seen Yomi Ship, things like that. But I think Flip Flop Frog is just the best out of all those options because it's non-targeted. So you can use it to send back a Cocytus that you can out, things like that. Definitely, I'm liking Flip Flop Frog more and more as I use it. The rest of the deck is pretty standard. We have the Cyclones to activate our skill, double Invocation, triple Concentrating Current, which is kind of disgusting. And then we have two enemy controllers because Econ Take, it's really strong in this deck. Again, to clear the board, you can Econ Take using the Scrap Goblin that survived that turn, or the Alistair that you are normal summoning to search, and then either use your opponent's monster to fuse with, to synchro with, or just to flat out not have anything on the field, and you can OTK with whatever fusion you go into. Wall of D, whatever trap you want to run. If you want to run something else, I mean, that's up to you. I just wanted to run one Wall of D because why not? And my two synchro targets are Fortune Lady Every and Black Rose Dragon. This is another one of those decks where I wish I had a little bit more space to sneak in a Samurai Destroyer, which is also a level 7. That's one of the better level 7 generic monsters. But I wanted to try out Fortune Lady Every. It's very strong against Cocytus because if you put this in defense vision, Cocytus can't get over it unless they have double Alistair or another way to boost their attack. And it's also non-targeted banishing removal, so you can get rid of the Cocytus, get rid of a lot of things. So I like the Fortune Lady Every tech. Although I didn't go into it a whole lot. Most of the times we're going into Black Rose Dragon to nuke the board and try to get the easy OTK. I will say though that it was kind of hard to get footage with this particular deck, just because I am already in King of Games and a lot of people are not sitting around for your Black Rose Dragon OTKs. So you're not gonna see a whole lot of the synchro engine because they were just scooping, but I still try to get some fun duels for you guys to watch. And my boy Steven Freshy pointed out that you can now see the mats in the replays. I never noticed that. That's kind of cool. I might start using like deck related mats now that you guys get to see them in the replays. So here we're going up against Triamis. They said 1. We already have the Alistair, so we're gonna Cosmic Cycle in the back row. Summon Invoker, Econ take right away. Let me get that Triamid Master here. And we've already won. Because Triamid Master is gonna be able to get rid of... actually, I'm going to use the Triamid Master to summon my Invoked Magellanica. Activate Invocation. Boost up my Invoker. Activate Invocation for a second time. This time we're going to use the Flip-Flop Frog and the Alistair that I just sent to the grave so I can get my Cositus. And that way Cositus can get rid of the remaining life points or the Hunter, depending on what the card was. So obviously this boosts him up, but it's also boosting my Magellanica, so that you just cancel us out. And we still have more than enough for lethal. 26, 18, easy game. But yeah, I mean, I did have a pretty disgusting hand. I already had one Invocation, I had enemy controller, and a water. I mean, he was bound to get destroyed right there. Alright, next we have Loomis and Umbra. And this is another duel where I'm able to out a strong board, or at least a board that would give me problems thanks to an enemy controller. Because we're going up against spellbooks. So I'm just gonna set the Flip-Flop Frog, set a face down. So I have two options, right? If he doesn't end on a Silent Magician, I can Cyclone the Spellbook of Fate. If he fates my frog, then I'm going to take some damage and I'm gonna be able to draw into my Alistair. Either way, I'm gonna have my Alistair next turn, and if my Flip-Flop Frog is banished, he provided me with the water monster in Blue Boy, so he's gonna go for Fate. Banishes my frog, hits me for 2000. When I activate her skill, and because of the Concentrating Current, we have won the duel. So Econ take, he's forced to negate that. So now he's not going to be able to negate my Invocation or my Concentrating Current. Quick math. This is math you should already know if you play Invoked Cositus. If you use Concentrating Current, this is 47. If you use one Invoker, that's 1000 to each attack and defense. So that goes to 6700. Over 2000, that's more than lethal. Pog, easy math. So we're gonna activate Concentrating Current, chain the Alistair so that the Alistair resolves first, and I get that extra boost from the defense. And yeah, my opponent does the math and scoops accordingly. And here we have a Kaiba. I don't remember what this duel was. It's hard to tell what Kaiba plays anymore. I guess Blue Eyes maybe? Oh no, he's playing Element Sabers. So Element Saber, good opening for him. I could have gone for Scrap Goblin, but instead I'm gonna go ahead and search, because I wanted to force... I was willing to get rid of my Concentrating Current to force the effect of the Molehu. If he doesn't activate the Molehu effect to flip my guy face down, I activate the Concentrating Current and I get rid of him. I'm trying to do that so I still have my Synchro play next turn with Scrap Goblin. If this guy's in defense position, I have a Wall of D and an enemy controller to protect him. And I'm trying to get to, you know, the Black Rose Dragon play. But he does save with Molehu, which is fine, because now he either needs a lap to negate my Wall of Disruption, or thanks to the 1800 defense of Alistair, I'm going to be able to survive. He is able to swarm the board, but luckily for me, the Wall of D is going to protect us. He activates Molehu's effect to not take damage. And another thing is he already searched the previous turn, so I had a safe turn anyway. If I'm not able to win this turn, whatever's on my board is going to stay on my board because he can attack. But yeah, I try to go for the Black Rose play. He sniffs it out, unfortunately, and switches my Goblin to defense position. But at that point, it doesn't matter. We still have the Concentrating Current, we have an enemy controller, and we have a Magellanica that is going to be 4000 attack on the field. So, yep. Not a whole lot my opponent can do. I think it would have been safer for him to just set up a lap. But he decided to go aggressive, try to win the game in that turn, and it didn't work out for him. There we go. 8,300 to the face. We out here farming people in rank, well, in King of Games, I should say. Alright, here we have an Odeon. And this guy was running a trap heavy deck, as most Odeons tend to do. And it's one of those games where I feel like I outplayed him and he was mad at that. I set my Scrap Goblin. I should have set some of my Cosmic Cyclones, because now I don't want to activate them right away. I don't want to activate this, banish a card, and give him an opportunity to set even more back row. So I'm just going to set both of my Cyclones, and then I'll activate him during his end phase. So end phase, we're going to activate Cosmic Cyclone. Now pay attention to what he does right here. He's going to activate Rebirth of Parsat. We're going to take 200 damage. He reveals a counter trap as he is supposed to, but discards a monster. What does that tell me? That tells me there's another Rebirth of Parsat face down, and that's why he wants to keep the counter card in hand. Otherwise, you would probably keep the monster in that scenario. So I know one of these other two cards, it's another Rebirth of Parsat. So with that information, we are going to blindly Cyclone the other one. We don't hit the Rebirth, we hit a Wiretap. Activate our skill. He knows I have Alistair, right? So if I summon Alistair and I try to search, this is going to destroy, this is going to shuffle my Alistair back into the deck, and that's not what we want. Thankfully, we already have an invocation in hand, so we can bait out the Rebirth using this. And then he realizes what's gonna happen, because now, even if he summons a second Avenging Knight of Parsat, I can summon Invoker, search my invocation, go for level 7 Synchro, which is gonna be Black Rose Dragon, and then hit him directly with my Magellanica. So after he does this, he realizes what's about to happen, and we get the scoop. And a lot of people were doing that. Like they saw the play coming and they just wouldn't stick around for me to be able to do it. Field Batman. Alright, Paradox Brother. We're going second. This is Lab Builder Subterrors. I haven't played Subterrors in a long time. Ever since my Trap Terror kind of died. I need to play them again. So here we're gonna go for Alistair. He doesn't activate anything. Lets my summon resolve. So now I can Synchro into Black Rose Dragon, clear the board, and we have the OTK. Will this guy let us do it? Find out right now. He does not. We get this scoop. But I mean, I had a disgusting hand. I had double Alistair in hand for a triple boost after I fuse using Invocation. And I also had double Concentrating Current. So that would have been such a high attack. I was very sad that he didn't stick around. But you guys get the point. Scrap Goblin works wonders with this deck. He allows you to stall as long as your opponent is only going for attacks. Obviously, Dark Lords and things like that have removal, but for that we have Wall of D, we have Enemy Controller, and you know, the deck is really fun, man. It's very strong. I would not be surprised if I mean, I'm not surprised that this deck is getting King of Games very easily. I don't know if it's better than my Cositos Turbo using Grit, you know, the one I got King of Games with last season. But because of the amount of backward removal you have in Cosmic Cyclone, I would say that this deck is a better way of running the Alistair, the Invoker. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want. And until next time.